Chapter 3090. She always thought that Wuxia didn't bring any electronic devices with him because he was afraid of being tracked. Plus, she hadn't seen Wuxia make any calls or use his cell phone for so long. To her surprise, there was one. Although it was an old-fashioned cell phone and wasn't smart, it was the only communication device that allowed her to contact the outside world. Huamin took the cell phone and turned it on smoothly. She thought that Qin Chu would be very excited to be his first call. But to her surprise, after turning it on, Huamin was dumbfounded. It required a 6-digit password. No matter how smart Huamin was, it was only in the medical field. He wasn't a high-tech hacker like Lu Yan. After calming down, she tried to remember Wuxia's birthday. It wasn't right. Then she entered her own birthday. It still wasn't right. Then she entered Hu Xinghai's birthday. She even remembered Yan Ruoxi's birthday. She had seen it on Weibo before. It seemed to be October 1st, but it wasn't right. In the end, she used a simple number like 123456. 654321 in despair. But it still wasn't right. Finally, Huamin gave up. She put the cell phone aside quietly. At this moment, something caught her attention. On the table where she was eating, next to the glass of water, was a very small key. Although it was small, the workmanship was very complicated. When did this key appear here? Did Wuxia leave it here on purpose? Was this the key on the chain that locked Jack? Although she found the cell phone and couldn't use the password, she was relieved that she found the key. At least she knew that the key wasn't in the basement and that Jack couldn't get it. So, she didn't have to worry about being hurt. It was getting late. The weather on the island was unpredictable, just like a child's personality. Sometimes it was blue and sometimes it was windy. For some reason, there was a sudden storm that night. The sea was no longer romantic at night. Instead, it roared and howled like a wild beast. Huamin sat alone in the small wooden house, unable to fall asleep. She clutched the quilt tightly, feeling terrified. On this uninhabited island, there were only the two of them, Wuxia. Usually, it was fine and she wasn't that scared. But now, Wuxia was gone, and the person in the basement was the crazy second personality Jack. At this time, Huamin felt like he was in danger. He was very, very afraid. She missed Qin Chu very much and wanted to throw herself into his warm embrace. She really wanted him to tell her, "Honey, don't be afraid, I'm here for you." But the reality was still so cruel. She had never thought that there would be a day where she could live in fear with a psychopath with dual personalities on the island. Absolutely not. South Hill Manor. Qin Chu stayed in the military hospital for the last night and was discharged. In order to celebrate his healthy discharge from the hospital, everyone planned to come over for a meal. The two elders of the Qin family had already prepared the food. After the incident at home, Qin Chu fired all the nannies except for Uncle Li, who was brought back. Of course, it was also because Wuxia had planted spies in the nannies, so they were fired. The two elders of the Qin family and Uncle Li went to buy groceries early and came back to prepare. Qin Chu took the kids to the garden in the yard to water the flowers. Then, his friends arrived one after another. Other than Ni Yang and the others who went back with Chenjia, everyone else was there. Jiang Shaowei, Wei Liao, Gao Ran, Zhu Lingling, Tang Chuan, Qin Ning, Rick, Cici, and Suyu. Suyu was the first to arrive. He drove his black Lamborghini, and there was a lot of delicious food in the trunk. "Oh, handsome Su, I love you so much." Seeing the food, Little Bean hugged Suyu enthusiastically. "Do you love me or the food?" Suyu asked with a smile. Chapter 3091. Handsome Su, what are you talking about? Am I that kind of person? Little Bean felt wronged. "You are," Pudding and Suyu said at the same time. "Damn it. Daddy, look. Qin Zhao Zhao and Handsome Su are bullying me." Little Bean turned around and complained to her daddy. "Whoa, little brat, you know how to complain? Do I have to step aside now that your daddy is better?" Suyu teased her. "Who? What are you talking about? Handsome Su, you've been with me for a long time. You should know me." "Handsome Su knows you too well. That's why he said that." Pudding laughed. "Go away, Stinky Pudding. Don't cause trouble here. I'm trying to get closer to Handsome Su." Okay. How do you want to get closer to him? Su Yu hugged Little Bean and looked at her lovingly. Handsome Su, you bought all my favorite things. So you love me more, right? Little Bean said with a smile. You're flattering yourself. Of course. My sister doesn't like sweet things. She's afraid of getting fat. But I saw that all the things you bought today are sweet. You're smart. You can have them all. I'll keep some. You can take the rest. I can't take so many. Little Bean was surprised to hear this. But, Miss Little Bean, the sun rose from the west today. You used to die when you saw these things. Why are you asking me to take some back? What's going on? Because my mommy doesn't like me to eat sweet things. She's afraid my teeth will be bad and unhealthy. Little Bean said it very seriously. But Su Yu felt a lump in his throat when he heard this. Little Bean, Gao Buiyuan is here. Why don't you go pick him up? Pudding changed the subject. Really? I'll go and see. Hearing her sister's words, Little Bean immediately jumped out of Su Yu's arms and ran toward Gao Ran's car. Pudding walked over to Su Yu. Handsome Su, Little Bean didn't mean it. Don't be too sad. You know how to read minds? Can you guess what I'm thinking? Su Yu smiled. I know you're as sad as we are about Mommy. I know. Pudding reached out and placed her hand on Su Yu's shoulder. Her small palm gave him great comfort. I'm fine, Pudding. I'm really fine. I've always been confident that your mommy will be fine. But your daddy, my daddy has just recovered from a serious illness and has already thought things through. He has his own plans for mommy. My sister and I didn't say a word, but we both know very well. Your family's IQ is almost as high as a company. You're really going to become a demon, Su Yu continued joking. Pudding. Wei Yunchu got out of the car and called her name from afar. Damn, that brat is here too. Go find your friends. I want to talk to your daddy. Okay. Pudding nodded and walked toward Wei Liao and Jiang Xiaowei's car. Su Yu walked slowly to Qin Chu. Are you okay? Yeah. I'm almost recovered. What's your plan to find Huamin? I'm already looking for him. I'll tell you when I find some clues. But we don't have any clues. How are we going to find him? I'll go see Ah-Cheng after dinner. I've seen Ah-Cheng. He doesn't know much. I think he's hiding something from you. I'll talk to him alone and see if there are any new clues. I'll wait for your news. Su Yu. Yeah. The old man who operated on me? Su Yu looked at Qin Chu in confusion. That's Mion's biological father, Qin Chu said faintly. Upon hearing this, Su Yu was completely dumbfounded. Chapter 3092. What? Su Yu thought he was hallucinating. But Qin Chu didn't repeat himself. Instead, he stared at Mion with a serious expression. Did you just tell me that the mysterious old man who operated on you is Mion's biological father? Oh my God! Su Yu was shocked again. No, I need to calm down. Su Yu put his hand on his heart, feeling it was racing. Qin Chu didn't say anything, but, something's wrong, Qin Chu. Didn't Mion's father do that thing many years ago? Su Yu finally realized. Jing De isn't her biological father. So you're saying that Mion's mother isn't her biological mother? Su Yu finally understood. It all started with what happened in the hospital years ago. Then, Qin Chu explained Huamin's background to Su Yu so he could understand. After hearing this, Su Yu was once again speechless from shock. So you're saying that the ordinary-looking old man I talked back to is a Chinese professor that even the FBI has to respect? Yeah. I was so stupid to say that to him, Su Yu said, blaming himself. It's not your fault. After all, he didn't reveal his identity. You should be careful. I knew it. Pudding and Rick knew. This old man must be someone special. I didn't expect him to be. The professor's identity is very special, and many people have ulterior motives toward him. Of course, he has to be careful. You understand? Hey, so Mion has an awesome little sister? Hearing Qin Chu mention Lu Yen so casually, Su Yu knew things weren't as simple as they seemed. She was a little girl, but she was famous in the mercenary world. She couldn't be an ordinary person. Then, the one who snuck into the hospital and drugged my bodyguard to see you should also be her, right? That should be the case. Qin Chu nodded and speculated. The Mion's family has amazing genes. That's her biological mother. The matter of the biological mother is a little complicated. She and I haven't figured it out yet. I'll tell you bit by bit in the future. Do Mion's mother and Jixin know about this? I don't know. The less people know about this, the better. Qin Chu said. What about Huasiqian? Huasiqian knows. He has known about this for a long time. Fuck, that bastard actually knows about it. This time, he was in such a hurry to take Mion away and set this trap. It must have something to do with Ian. Ian? Su Yu felt as if he had entered a whole new world when he read this unfamiliar name. These things. Before Qin Chu could finish, Huasiqian interrupted him. Su Yu immediately replied, I won't tell anyone. Don't worry. I know. What I mean is, these things aren't that simple. Mion's identity and her family are very special. Leave the rest to me. What do you mean? Su Yu glared at Qin Chu. I don't want you to be involved, Qin Chu said directly. Yes, things had escalated to this point. Qin Chu felt that Su Yu might be in danger if he continued to be in charge. Ian didn't seem to be giving up either, whether it was hunting down Lu Yen or investigating Huamin's background. They might run into each other in the future. What would the Su family do with such a dangerous person? Chapter 3093. Do you think I'm scared? Don't underestimate me, Su Yu said proudly. It's not a matter of fear. Then what is it? Su Yu was obviously not convinced. Ian is a murderous demon. The serial murders that have happened here before, the murderers were never caught, and the victims died tragically. Those were all Ian's masterpieces. Are you saying that he came to our place? Yes, and he's been investigating Mion's background. What's Ian's background? Why are you so afraid of him? Su Yu wasn't stupid. He could tell that even someone like Qin Chu was afraid of Ian. He's the leader of a terrorist organization. But that's not the most important thing. What's scary about him is that his methods are terrifying. It's not something normal people like us can accept. Then, he wants to catch Mion because of the professor? Su Yu wasn't stupid. Then why doesn't he catch Mion? She's good at fighting. Su Yu was puzzled. He's been trying to catch her, but it's not that easy to catch Lu Yen. Damn it. Okay, it seems like I underestimated him. Yeah, that's why I'm telling you all this. I actually want to say. Before Qin Chu could finish, Su Yu interrupted him. You actually want me to be a coward from now on. Qin Chu, although we're not close, I'm Huamin's friend. I'm the kind of friend who would trade my life for his. I know, Qin Chu said. You know, and you still want me to be a coward? Is that my style? Su Yu was a little angry. I know you're not afraid, but this isn't a small fight. We're not facing normal people. You're the only descendant of the Su family. I don't want Lord Su and the others to worry about you at their age. Qin Chu was thinking too much. The Su family had helped them, and he couldn't let Su Yu put himself in danger because of them. Qin Chu was being kind. At least he was thinking about Su Yu. Qin Chu, do you know what I hate about you the most? Su Yu suddenly asked. Qin Chu looked at Su Yu in confusion. I hate it when you act so righteous, as if no one else in this world can be sacrificed except you. Yes, you're the best, you're a saint, okay? Qin Chu, if I, Su Yu, was a coward, I probably wouldn't care about you guys. You should have heard that back then. In order to get Mion out of prison safely, I pointed a gun at my own head and forced my grandfather into a corner. At that time, I thought that if my grandfather cared, I might as well kill myself. So, to you guys and outsiders, I'm the son of a high-ranking official, the only descendant of the Su family, the grandson of Commander Su, the heir of the Su family. I'm the heir of $1 billion fortune. But to me, I only have one identity, and that is, I'm a very important friend of Huamin. Hearing this, Qin Chu wasn't surprised. It seemed that with Su Yu's personality, he wasn't afraid of death and wasn't the kind of person who would run away in the face of danger. I wasn't afraid of death back then, and I'm not afraid now. So, don't fucking talk about Ian or Ivar. I don't care, I just want to save Mion safely. If you're worried that I'll steal your credit, you can just tell me, Suyu said boldly. Why would I? Qin Chu smiled faintly. This man, Suyu, always impressed him. Daddy, there's a fight outside, you should go check it out. Little Bean ran over and grabbed Qin Chu's hand. You guys are fighting? Qin Chu was puzzled. Who would be so stupid to fight in his house? Chapter 3094. Hearing the quarrel outside, Qin Chu stopped talking to Suyu. The two men walked out and sure enough, they saw Jiang Shaowei pulling an agitated Wei Liao from afar. Wei Liao? That can't be. He doesn't like to make the first move. Suyu was puzzled. He had known Wei Liao for a long time and knew that he was an introverted person who didn't like to talk. But at this moment, he was indeed very agitated and making a ruckus. Did he quarrel with his wife? Qin Chu was slightly surprised. That's impossible. He always listens to Dr. Jiang. The two men talked as they walked. When they got closer, they saw that it was Wei Liao and his sister, Wei Ying. Wei Ying wasn't on the invitation list, so Qin Chu was surprised that she came. What's going on? Wei Liao. What's wrong with you? Suyu went over to comfort Wei Liao first. It's fine, I just wanted to teach my disappointing girl a lesson. Wei Liao's anger still hadn't subsided. Why you here? Suyu looked back at Wei Ying and asked directly. Big brother Suyu. Wei Liao was a bit embarrassed. I told you I asked Ying to come? Jiang Shaowei interrupted. Don't, sister-in-law. I can't let you take the blame for this. This has nothing to do with you. It's like this, big brother. I had something to talk to Mingxi about today. I called him and he said he was on his way here, so I thought I should come here too. You didn't expect me to be here, did you? Wei Liao said coldly. I didn't want to hide it from you. Big brother, don't be angry. How can I not be angry? How many times have I told you not to contact that kid from the Shen family? You guys are already in the past. Wei Liao was a little agitated. Brother, he and I are now just friends. There's really nothing else. Friends? Who are you kidding? Do you think I'm you? Wei Liao was even angrier. He pointed at Wei Ying's nose and scolded her. Jiang Shaowei hurriedly hugged her husband's waist and coaxed him. Hubby, let's go back and talk. This is someone else's house. We're just being polite. It's not appropriate to do this. It's okay. We're not unfamiliar with Qin Chu. I'm just going to deal with some family matters. I believe he'll understand. After Wei Liao said that, everyone immediately looked at Qin Chu. President Wei, do as you please. Qin Chu was indifferent to this matter. Since it was a family matter, it was not appropriate for others to intervene. Shen Mingxi hadn't arrived yet, but from Wei Ying's words, he was on his way. What are you doing here? Go home. Don't make a fool of yourself. Wei Liao was even angrier when his sister refused to leave. Brother, I really need to talk to Mingxi about something urgent. Go out and talk. This is the Qin family's house, not a place for you to date. Old Wei, you're being too strict. You don't have to go that far. There are so many people here, and Shen Mingxi can't do anything to your sister anyway. Is it necessary? Suyu spoke up for Wei Ying for the first time. Lord Su, it's none of your business. Wei Liao told Suyu to stay out of it. For some reason, the media had been spreading the news that Shen Mingxi and Wei Ying were getting back together. But his sister's injury was still fresh in his mind. Even if Wei Ying could forgive him, Wei Liao and the Wei family couldn't accept it. At this moment, a black Porsche Cayenne slowly drove into South Hill Manor. Young Master Shen is here? Zhu Lingling glanced at the car and said in a low voice. Everyone fell into silence. Wei Liao's face grew darker. Chapter 3095. Sorry, there's a traffic jam. They said the whole city is on alert for a marathon. Shen Mingxi said with a smile. Then, he opened the car door and carried Tian Tian out of the back seat. She was wearing a blue princess dress and hairpins, looking very glamorous. You're all here so early? Shen Mingxi asked proactively. Before the others could speak, Wei Liao pried Jiang Shaowei's hand away and strode over, punching Shen Mingxi hard in the face. This sudden punch made him very confused. He had no strength to resist at all. He swayed and almost fell to the ground. "You're a bad guy. Why did you hit my uncle? You're a big bad guy." Tian rushed over in tears, grabbed Wei Liao's arm, and bit it hard. Perhaps it was because she was too angry and thought of Wei Liao as a bad guy, so she bit him like a crazy person. Wei Liao's hand was bitten so hard that it left a bloody mark on it. Wei Liao frowned in pain, but he couldn't do anything to a kid. He was only angry at the conflict between Shen Mingxi and his sister, so even though he was bitten, he didn't do anything. "Gosh, your dad was bitten." Holding Gao Buyuan's hand, Little Bean glanced at Wei Yunchu beside her. Pudding also glanced at Wei Yunchu, but she didn't say anything. Wei Yunchu was wearing black shorts, a light blue short-sleeved shirt, and a black bow tie, looking like a little gentleman. The kids were about the same age, but Wei Yunchu was the least talkative. Seeing his dad hurt, Wei Yunchu rushed over without a word and grabbed Tiantian's braid. Then he pulled it hard. "How dare you bite my dad? Are you a dog?" Wei Yunchu yelled at Tian. Then he rudely pulled her hair and flung her away, causing her to fall to the ground. "Ooh, you're all bad guys. I don't like it here. Let's go." Shen Mingxi hurried over to help her up. Seeing this, Wei Ying took out a wet wipe and handed it to Tian to wipe her dirty hands. Unexpectedly, he was pushed hard by her. "Get lost, you bad woman. If it wasn't for you, things wouldn't be like this. Why are you so shamelessly clinging onto my Uncle Shen? Can't you find a man?" Wei Ying was slightly shocked. "Tianan, shut up. You're not allowed to talk to your elders like that. Am I wrong? What kind of senior is she? My mom said that she's just a liar who likes to take the initiative to chase after men. She can't even give birth to a child, so no man likes her. She's trying to get close to Uncle Shen with ulterior motives." Tian seemed to be getting worse. Shen Mingxi hurriedly covered her mouth to stop her from continuing. "Xiaoying, don't take offense at a child's words." Before Shen Mingxi could say anything, Jiang Shaowei was also a little angry. "Don't take offense at a child's words. None of the kids here would say such things. It seems Hui Yanyan has instilled the idea of a bitch into this child. Yeah. This little girl looks cute but has a vicious tongue. How can she do that?" Zhu Lingling also found that she didn't like this child. "Sis, is that Tian? I feel like she's possessed by a ghost." "She's annoying," Little Bean said in a low voice. "I haven't seen her in a long time. I don't know why she's like this," Pudding said. "Hui Yanyan used to be a good friend of Huamin, and Tian often came here to play with the twins. At that time, Pudding didn't think Tian was such a mean child." "Ing, did you hear that? How long are you going to be a bitch? Even Hui Yanyan's daughter looks down on you." Wei Liao looked at his sister with heartache. Chapter 3096. Big brother, don't call me. Go home. Hurry up. Wei Liao was scary when he was angry. "Well, it's the first time I've seen Uncle Wei so angry." "It's scary," Little Bean said. "He must be very angry. Otherwise, he wouldn't be like this." "Yeah. Sis, your future father-in-law has a temper." "Huh." Little Bean joked. Pudding rolled her eyes at Little Bean and didn't continue. Hurry up and go home. My dad looks really angry." Wei Yunchu tugged at the corner of Wei Ying's dress. "I know. Good boy, nephew." Wei Ying reached out and patted her nephew's head. Then she looked at him apologetically and said in a low voice, "Big brother Mingxi, I'll talk to you about that thing at your company tomorrow. Don't come to my Uncle Shen again." "We don't like you," Tian interrupted. Wei Ying glanced at Tian with mixed feelings and stood up. "Big brother, don't be angry. Old Wei, what are you doing? You're happy just because you forced the girl to leave." Tang Chuan was speechless. He wanted to stop the fight, but Qin Ning wouldn't let him. Qin Ning thought it was the Wei family's business and outsiders shouldn't interfere. "I'm doing it for her own good," Wei Liao said. "Okay, since they're all gone, let's eat. I'm starving." Tang Chuan tried to lighten the mood, not wanting everyone to be so nervous. Sit down in the dining room. We're ready to eat, Qin Chu announced as the host. Everyone was tactful enough to walk inside. Rick supported Cece as they walked inside. Cece, how far along are you? Zhu Lingling asked curiously. Her eyes fell on Cece's belly. Cece was wearing a peacock blue dress. It was a Korean style and was very loose, suitable for pregnant women. Her shoes were flat-soled. It was obvious that both she and Rick cared about the baby. Almost 3 months. Cece smiled. Sylvester, 3 months? That's about the same time as my Mion's second child. Huh? You can be her in-laws. Zhu Lingling continued to gossip. Upon hearing about Huamin's second child, everyone fell silent. Qin Chu, on the other hand, looked calm. Su Yu really couldn't take it anymore. His eyes hurt a little. After rubbing them, he strode into the room and stopped listening to Zhu Lingling and Cece's conversation. Lingling, don't mention Mion all the time. Everyone feels bad. Gao Ran kindly reminded her. So what? Isn't my Mion fine? He'll be back in a few days. I've prepared so many baby clothes. It's not like he's dead. Why don't you bring him up? Compared to other people, Zhu Lingling was more open-minded. She was sure that Huamin was fine and that he would come back. Therefore, she didn't hold back when she talked about him. Auntie Lingling is right. Mommy will be back in a few days. Behind them, Little Bean said sweetly. Everyone walked in, but Shen Mingxi held Tiantian's hand and stayed at the door. When Pudding saw this, her hand holding Qin Chu's hand paused. Daddy. Yeah. Qin Chu looked down at his daughter. Look, Uncle Shen doesn't want to come in, Pudding reminded her daddy. Qin Chu turned around. Shen Mingxi was holding a box in his hand. He must have just taken it out of the car. President Qin, this is a gift for your recovery. You're too kind, President Shen. No. I've done a lot of bad things in the past, but you and Dr. Hua are magnanimous enough to forgive me. I just wanted to see you today and didn't have any other intentions. I didn't think Wei Liao would get so worked up. I'm sorry that I delayed your banquet. Shen Mingxi looked at Qin Chu apologetically. Chapter 3097. It's okay. We're all good friends and won't mind. My kids are crying. I won't stay for dinner. I'll visit you another day. Compared to the others, Shen Mingxi wasn't as comfortable as the others. He was still polite to Qin Chu and kept a distance from him. Since you're here, come in and sit for a while. After recovering from his illness, Qin Chu was touched to find so many friends who cared about him and his kids. No, I'm not free today. I'll treat you another day and discuss the cooperation between GK and the Shen Corporation. Shen Mingxi smiled sincerely. Hearing Shen Mingxi's words, Qin Chu didn't insist. Taking the gift, Qin Chu held Pudding's hand and walked inside. The gift wasn't opened, but from the packaging, it seemed to be a set of expensive porcelain. Daddy? Yeah? Why doesn't Uncle Wei Liao like Uncle Shen and his sister being together? They had some conflicts before, Qin Chu explained. I think Auntie Wei Ying likes Uncle Shen, but Uncle Wei wants to separate them. Is this what they mean by breaking up a loving couple? Pudding, you're so gossipy today. Daddy thought you were possessed by Little Bean. I'm in a good mood because Daddy is recovering from his illness. Pudding was rarely in a good mood. After everyone sat down, Qin Chu walked in with Pudding but didn't see Shen Mingxi. Yeah. Where's young Master Shen? Tang Chuan asked Qin Chu. He left. Tang Chuan was surprised. Yeah. He said he had something to do and wouldn't eat. I guess he's afraid we'll get mad at him. Tang Chuan chuckled. Wei Liao's face was still grim. They weren't used to his serious expression. After Wei Ying left, so did Shen Mingxi. Old Wei, do you think Ying Ying will continue to meet Shen Mingxi behind your back after she leaves? You still owe me? Qin Ning secretly pinched Tang Chuan's arm. She was annoyed by how he liked to watch the drama unfold. Ouch, don't pinch me, it hurts. If you go out, I don't care what you do, but don't do it under my nose. Wei Liao said. All right. Let's not talk about being unhappy. Let's eat. Qin Chu's recovery is a good thing. Jiang Shaowei immediately tried to smooth things over. The two elders of the Qin clan served the dishes one after another. Then, the two old men and Qin Ning's father went to eat in another small restaurant. Leaving space for these young people, thank you for taking care of us while I was sick. Thank you for taking good care of Pudding and Little Bean. Qin Chu rarely spoke politely. Therefore, when they were being so polite, everyone felt quite embarrassed. Brother-in-law, don't say such things. We are a family. Get out of here. Who's your family? Shameless. Qin Ning pinched Tang Chuan's face again. Hey, Ning Ning, you can't deny it. Your dad agreed to our relationship. If you don't believe me, we can go over there and ask him. Tang Chuan was always good at livening up the atmosphere. Here's a toast to all of you. Thank you to all my friends. Then, Qin Chu was about to toast when Little Bean scolded him. Daddy, you're not allowed to drink, ahem. Pudding coughed to remind him. The foreign old man who operated on you said you're a patient and must take good care of yourself. You can't drink. A little red wine is fine. Qin Chu chuckled. You can't do that either. Here, I'll give you mine. Good girl. Little Bean ran over and handed her glass to Qin Chu. It was also red, but it was blueberry juice. Qin Chu held the glass and didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Son, your future daughter-in-law seems very powerful. Will she control our whole family after she marries you? Gao Ran teased his son. Chapter 3098. Dad, what are you thinking? Little Bean is very cute. She's not strong at all. Compared with Pudding, she's very gentle. Pudding is gentle too, Wei Yunchu corrected them. Looking at the two boys who didn't seem to understand what was going on and defending their future daughter-in-law, everyone burst into laughter. The atmosphere instantly became a lot better. Because of the incident with Shin Mingxi and Wei Ying, they were in no mood to continue eating. Daddy, drink it. Try it. It's good. Little Bean stood before Qin Chu and looked at him without blinking. He was afraid that she would drink. This girl was very responsible. Daddy, try it. Finally, Qin Chu had no choice but to take a sip of the blueberry juice. Is it good? Little Bean asked expectantly. It's good. Then drink it up, Qin Chu. Ha! Little Bean, your dad was a hero. But in the end, you subdued him. Gao Ran couldn't stop laughing. Uncle Gao Ran, you're wrong. I didn't subdue him. I cared about him. Yes. You're right. You're pretty, so everything you say makes sense. Gao Ran felt that Little Bean's cuteness could melt his heart. So, Qin Chu, do you still want to toast me? Rick joked, which was rare of him. The blueberry juice is good. I'll toast to everyone with the blueberry juice and wine. Thank you. Seeing Qin Chu's sincerity, everyone raised their glasses. During the dinner, Qin Chu received a phone call and his expression changed slightly. Enjoy the dinner. I'll be back soon with a guest. Qin Chu stood up. Brother-in-law, don't worry. I'll take care of them for you. After saying that, Tang Chuan immediately waved his hand. Come. Don't be so polite. And drink and eat. Master Tang, you're really shameless. You think you're the owner? Su Yu laughed at him. Yeah, I'll be a part of the Qin family sooner or later. Tang Chuan held Qin Ning's hand and smiled. If your mother hears this, she's going to explode again, right? Su Yu was amused. If the pot explodes, then let it explode. Anyway, I want to eat popcorn. Tang Chuan disagreed. When it came to his mother's opposition, Tang Chuan's approach had always been very clear. That was to always protect Qin Ning, even if it meant going against her mother. However, he didn't think that this was an unfilial act. He knew his mother's strong character. Seems it's better to have a daughter. Cici, is it a boy or a girl? Didn't they say that overseas technology is so advanced that they can tell the gender of the baby at a very early age? Zhu Lingling asked. Jiang Shaowei said, that's right. That's why a lot of pregnant women from rich families or celebrities go to Hong Kong as soon as they're pregnant. They can tell the gender first. Some people want a boy, but when they see it's a girl, they abort it. It's so cruel. That's so stupid. If everyone has a boy, they'll be gay. They won't even be able to get a wife. Zhu Lingling said indignantly. Honey, watch what you say. After all, there are children here, Gao Ran reminded her. It's okay, Uncle Gao. We understand what Auntie Lingling means, Pudding said calmly. Gao Ran, so, is Auntie Cici pregnant with a boy or a girl? Pudding tilted her head and looked at Cici. Hearing this, Rick gently put his hand on Cici's shoulder. We didn't look, Rick said. Cici also smiled. We don't care about that. It doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. It's our child anyway. I wonder if it's a boy or a girl in my mommy's belly. Pudding sighed slightly and thought of her mommy. Little Bean, why are you talking about this? Pudding quickly changed the topic. Dr. Hua must be pregnant with Neza, Su Yu suddenly said. Chapter 3099. Neza. Tang Chuan froze. The others were also confused. They didn't seem to understand Su Yu's joke. Ever since she got pregnant with this child, there have been so many disasters. I think this child must be very powerful, so he took his mother through the tribulation. So you said, ha, tribulation? Lord Su, have you read too many cultivation novels? Tang Chuan laughed at him. This soup is really good. I'll get more for everyone. Jiang Shaowei obviously didn't want them to continue the topic of Huamin. Every time Huamin was mentioned, everyone was sad, so she changed the topic. Everyone knew what she meant, so no one continued the topic. In the study, when Qin Chu walked in, Ching immediately stood up from the sofa. President Qin. Sit, Ching. It had been a long time since they last met. Ching looked very haggard. He was wearing dark gray shorts and a white short-sleeved shirt. There were faint scars on his arms and thighs. During the years he worked for Wuxia, he was often injured because of his important missions. When Ching worked for Wuxia, he was very cold. Now that he had returned to normal life, he was much more humane. President Qin, are you okay? I'm fine. That's good. Ching nodded. How's the child recovering? Qin Chu asked. Very good. I've been observing him and there are no signs of rejection. I asked several doctors to check on him and they all said the surgery was very good. Thank you very much. Ching, don't be so polite. Do you know why I came to see you today? I know, President Qin. Listen to me first, Qin Chu interrupted Ching. Okay, go ahead. If Wuxia didn't die, you would be in a dangerous situation. From what I know about him, even if he didn't come back, he would send people to kill you. After all, you betrayed him. I know. Ching nodded again. That's why I've already arranged for you and your child to leave this place. Leave? Ching was a little surprised. You don't have any relatives or friends in the first place. That child doesn't have any relatives or friends either. The two of you can live wherever you go. It's better to change places and start anew. Ching bit his lip and fell silent. When I was hospitalized, I know that Su Yu looked for you. You've told him everything you know. I won't ask you anything else. Take these. What's this? Ching took the paper bag that Qin Chu handed to him. Open it and have a look. Ching followed Qin Chu's instructions and slowly opened it. He found a title deed and a check for 3 million yuan inside. This is a house I bought for you in Hong City. Your name is written on the title deed. It's not big, only about 100 square meters, but it should be enough for you and your child. I didn't buy you a car because I didn't know what brand you liked. Take this money, you can cash it out at the bank. In that city, 3 million yuan isn't a lot, but it's enough for you and your child to live comfortably. At this point, you can't go back to Wuxia, and you can't stay with me. So, start a new life, a normal life back in China. President Qin, how can I take this? I don't deserve it. Ching's face was full of guilt, and his heart was full of bitterness. In fact, he didn't do anything for Qin Chu. He just passed on some information, some of which were fake. Qin Chu saved him at a critical moment. Otherwise, he would have been killed by Wuxia's people. Take it. Let's not talk about this. Anyways, leave this place and get out of here as soon as possible. Qin Chu patted Ching's shoulder. Just as he got up and was about to leave, Ching suddenly yelled behind him, President Qin, wait a minute. Qin Chu stopped in his tracks. His face was still as calm as water. He seemed to know that Qing had something to say to him. Chapter 3100. President Qin, I have another piece of news. I want to tell you. Qing's voice trembled. Qin Chu didn't say anything. He just slowly turned his head. Although I don't know where Huasiqian's private island is, I know that there are some photos locked in a drawer in his study. What photos? Qin Chu looked at Qing calmly. It's a set of photos of islands. But all the islands in the world look the same. There's no way to tell. Qin Chu was a little disappointed. Yes, just like Bali, the Maldives, Phuket, and Saipan. If you took a picture of any island by the sea, they all looked the same. There was no way to tell which island it was, but I also noticed that there's a photo at the end. It's a city with a symbol. I think that since this photo appeared in the photos of those islands, there must be some connection. But Qin Chu raised his sword-like eyebrows. The Sydney Opera House. Australia? Qin Chu suppressed the ecstasy in his heart, but his expression was still very calm. Qing nodded. But Huasiqian doesn't let us go abroad every time. He should have a group of people over there, Qing added. I understand. Qin Chu nodded. I don't know if this information is useful or not. It seems like the scope is quite big. Qing lowered his head, a little ashamed. No, you've already told me enough. Thank you. No. President Qin, please don't say that. I owe you a lot. Qing looked very conflicted. Let's not talk about that. It's all in the past. Take the things and leave as soon as possible. Sooner or later, Huasiqian and I will come to an end. I hope you can find Miss Hua soon. Oh no, I mean your wife. Qing had been with Huasiqian for too long and had always called Huamin Miss Huamin. However, in front of Qin Chu, he suddenly felt that it was rude to call Huamin that way. In the end, Qin Chu watched as Qing left South Hill Manor. Qin Chu knew that he would not return. He would not be involved in this battle again. He had indeed used some special methods on Qing. You could call it a trick or a persuasion. Qing had been with Huasiqian for a few years, so he knew what was going on. He had asked before, and Suyu had also asked when he was unconscious, but Qing didn't say a word. What was the reason? It was very simple. After following Huasiqian for so long, Qing still had feelings for Huasiqian as a master and servant. He didn't want to reveal everything until the very end. After all, Huasiqian was alone, while there were so many people here. Qin Chu alone was scary enough, and now Suyu was here as well. Once they found Huasiqian, they would chop him into pieces, right? Qing didn't want his former master to end up in a miserable state, so he kept the clues about the island a secret. However, after Qin Chu used his last trick, Qing couldn't handle it anymore. In fact, some people were like this. If you beat them, scolded them, or even tortured them, they might not be afraid. Qing wasn't the kind of man who was afraid of death. Therefore, special methods had to be used to deal with him. Qing wasn't afraid of anything, but he was afraid of others being nice to him. Perhaps it was because of this that Qin Chu used this trick. Sure enough, under the pressure of Qin Chu's kindness, Qing couldn't hide his last secret anymore. He knew that with Qin Chu's intelligence, even if he only gave a general description of a place, he would use the fastest time to find Huamin. After Qing left, Qin Chu stood by the window and whispered, Australia, right? Huasiqian. We will meet again soon. Chapter 3101. Inside Shenmingxi's private mansion, because of Wei Liao, Shenmingxi didn't have time to have dinner at Qin Chu's house. When he got back, he went to work and left Tian Tian in the care of Ms. Fong. Since it was the weekend and Tian Tian didn't have to go to school, she was at ease in the Shen family as if she owned the house. To be honest, Ms. Fong didn't like this kid and thought she had a strange personality. There were even times when the words he said and the look in his eyes were a little malicious. On TV, the reporters were interviewing Wei Ying about her new store and she stood in front of the camera in high spirits to answer the questions. Tian Tian turned off the TV immediately. Ms. Fong. What's up, Miss Tian Tian? Who do you think is prettier, Wei Ying or my mommy? Tian Tian suddenly asked with a straight face. Ms. Fong didn't know how to answer the question. She had never seen Hui Yanyan in person and had only seen some photos on Tian Tian's cell phone. Tell me, is it that hard to answer? Tian Tian was a little angry. Your mommy is prettier. Ms. Fong knew if she said Wei Ying was prettier, the kid would be angry. Sure enough, Tian Tian said smugly, yes, I think so too. If my mommy wasn't prettier, Uncle Shen wouldn't have divorced Wei Ying and married my mommy and me. Don't you think so? I have to correct you. Whether she's pretty or not, even a fairy has a moral bottom line. She can't break up other people's families and be the third party. Do you understand? That's not right. Ms. Fong felt the kid's morals weren't right. What are you talking about? My mom isn't a homewrecker. What do you know? She dated Uncle Shen before Wei Ying, and they've been in love with each other for a long time. That woman, Wei Ying, used despicable means to take Uncle Shen away from my mom. If there's a third party, then Wei Ying is the homewrecker. Miss Sanan, who told you this? Ms. Fong was shocked. Tian Tian looked about 5 or 6 years old. How could she say so much? Do I even need to tell you? Even a blind person would understand. You're just a nanny, a servant. What do you know? Don't think that you can reason with me just because you're older. In this house, I'm the master and you're a servant. What right do you have to lecture me? After hearing Tian Tian's words, Miss Fong was speechless. This was the first time she had seen such a child. She wasn't like this in front of Shin Mingxi. She always looked weak and called him Uncle Shin. It was so sweet. Mr. Shin really doted on her, but my mommy is mentally ill and might not be able to come back to this house. But I'll never let Wei Ying in. Tian Tian sneered and turned to go upstairs. Fong Jie, who was mopping the floor, paused for a moment. She held the mop in her hand and felt very upset. He was already so scheming at such a young age. What would happen when he grew up? On a deserted island, Huamin played with his old cell phone. She regretted that she didn't learn how to hack. Although she had hacked into Lin Mingyu's computer and peeked at his confidential data, that was with the help of a computer. Now, facing an old cell phone with her bare hands, she was helpless. She regretted that she didn't learn how to hack. If Lu Yen were here, she would have done it in a matter of minutes. At this moment, faint roars came from the basement. Huamin stood up slowly. Chapter 3102. This time, Huamin didn't panic and fear like before because she knew that Jack's freedom had been restricted. No matter how strong he was, the iron chain could still imprison him. Huamin carefully climbed down the ladder with a flashlight in her hand. When she passed by the storage room, she took some food and pushed open the door to the small room. Bitch, let me out, or I'll kill you. Jack glared at Huamin fiercely. You'll kill me if I let you out, Huamin said calmly. Give me the key. Trust me, or you'll die a horrible death. Jack tried his best to persuade Huamin, but she wasn't moved. So, he lost his patience and slandered her, even cursing her. I do have the key, but do you think I'll give it to you? Bitch. Go to hell. Jack's eyes were like a beast's. He wanted to tear Huamin into pieces. At this moment, Huamin suddenly felt lucky that she hadn't been persuaded by this cunning guy. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to survive. It seemed that Jack's appearance and the fact that he was locked up in the basement for no reason made the situation clear. Huaxiqian probably felt that she couldn't suppress her second personality anymore, so she locked herself up in advance. She also left the key in the wooden house. To be exact, she left it for Huamin. Huaxiqian knew that Jack had always been a hot-tempered guy. He had no pity for Huamin. It seemed that Huaxiqian still thought about Huamin even at the most critical moment. At least he left her a way out. Huamin was grateful to him for this. If you're done scolding, eat something. I really don't want you to starve to death. After all, I'm quite afraid of being alone on the island, Huamin said as he stood far away from Jack. Looking at the ham and some hardtack that Huamin had thrown on the ground, Jack was annoyed. That's all you're giving me? He seemed rather dissatisfied. What else can we do? Do you still want to eat abalone and lobster? I wish I could, but unfortunately, I don't have one. Huamin didn't think much of it. You really? Can't you make some porridge or something? Jack looked disgusted. What? Porridge? What kind of joke was this? You wanted to kill me, so why would I cook porridge for you? Was there something wrong with my brain? I'm kind, but I'm not a saint. Thank you. For a crazy person like you, it's good enough that you have something to eat. If it weren't for the fact that you're sharing a body with Wuxia, I wouldn't even bother to feed you. I'm not going to eat this garbage. Then starve to death. By the way, here's the water. You can drink it all and use this empty bottle to pee. After saying this, Huamin rolled a bottle of water across the ground and got up to leave. Stop, don't go. Come back here. Jack didn't seem to give up. However, Huamin ignored him and continued walking. Ouch, my leg hurts. I think I'm having a cramp. Huamin, aren't you a doctor? Can you please take a look at me? Huamin held the door handle with one hand and stopped walking. She turned around and glanced at him faintly. You won't die from the pain. After saying these words, Huamin opened the door and left. Stupid bitch, Huamin, you'll die a horrible death. See if I don't cut you into pieces when I get out. Jack continued to rage. After leaving the basement, Huamin took a deep breath. She didn't know how long Jack would be in this state. If Wuxia woke up, it wouldn't be a good thing for her. Because no matter what, she couldn't leave the island right now. The path from the basement to the cabin was full of weeds. Suddenly, something caught Huamin's attention. Her eyes immediately lit up. Chapter 3103. At South Hill Manor in China. After the guests left, South Hill Manor was empty. Sir, you haven't fully recovered yet. Go and rest. I'll take care of things here. Uncle Lee walked over. I'm fine, Uncle Lee. You don't have to treat me like a patient. I'm back to normal. That won't do. After all, you just had surgery. I saw the old madam made you some tonic soup in the kitchen. You should rest. Chin Chu nodded, turned around, and went upstairs to the study. Then, he sat down in a chair and a string of numbers appeared in his mind. He dialed the complicated numbers on his cell phone. 10 seconds later, a girl's image appeared in the air. Hello, I'm Lu Yen. Where are you? What? Even you're interested in my whereabouts? Lu Yen chuckled. No, I'm not interested. I just want to see how far you are from where I'm going. I'm in the air, on a private jet. Lu Yen leaned against the leather sofa in the inner cabin and stuck out her tongue playfully. Where are you flying to? Brazil. I'm going to collect a debt. Collect a debt? Chin Chu frowned slightly. She's going to collect a debt, Xiao Fei interrupted. Shut up. Lu Yen glared at Xiao Fei. What's going on? It's an enemy of mine. I've been looking for him. Someone saw him in Brazil, so I'm going to kill him, Lu Yen said casually. She made it sound as if killing someone was as easy as killing a chicken. Then don't go. I have something more important for you. What is it? Hearing Chin Chu's tone, Lu Yen knew it must be something important. Now, it seemed that the important thing Chin Chu was talking about had something to do with her sister. I found some clues that might lead to your sister's whereabouts. Really? Lu Yen stood up in excitement, unable to suppress her ecstasy. Ah-Cheng said Sydney, so it must be Australia, which means it's close to Australia. Check all the big and small private islands around Australia, the faster the better. Find out which island owner is Chinese. No, Wuxia, that cunning guy, would never use his own name. He wouldn't even use a Chinese name. Maybe it's a foreigner's name. Anyway, check all the islands around Australia. Australia? That's not far away. Where did you get the information? Is it accurate? Lu Yen was hesitant. You don't have to ask me where I got it from, but the news is definitely reliable. It's definitely from Australia. Chin Chu believed that the last piece of information Ah-Cheng told him was absolutely true. He wasn't spouting nonsense. This was human nature. I'll check it now. But I don't think it's that easy, Lu Yen said. Yeah. Maybe he installed some electronic devices on some of the islands to block the signals. So, you have to check the locations of the islands from the ancient archives. Also, you have to pay attention to which islands have frequent visitors recently. There should be records. Australia is so big and has so many surveillance cameras. It's impossible that they can't capture any of them. I don't believe Huasiqian would be so careful. Qin Chu was sure that Huasiqian would make a mistake. I got it. If the information is accurate and my sister is really in Australia, I think I'll be able to find her in less than 3 days, Lu Yen said smugly. 3 days is too long. Lu Yen, I'll fly there tonight. Let's meet in Sydney, Qin Chu said. Chapter 3104. At night, Huamin went down to the basement to see Huasiqian, or rather, Jack. When she opened the door and entered, he was leaning against the wall, sitting there. He didn't eat the food she gave him, but he drank all the water. It seemed like he was very thirsty. Hearing her footsteps, he slowly looked up. Mian, you're here. His tone surprised Huamin slightly. Mian, how long have I been unconscious? He asked hoarsely. Don't you know what happened? I know, of course I know. Is it because Jack is coming out to make trouble? So, I locked myself up and put the key in the room. You saw it, right? When did you wake up? Huamin looked at him calmly. An hour ago, he said calmly. Then why didn't you call me? Because I knew you would come. Haven't you been bringing me, Jack food and water all this time? But he didn't eat it. Huamin looked at the untouched food and said. Yes, Jack is very suspicious. He won't eat the food you give him. He's afraid that you'll do something to it. Then let him starve to death, Huamin said. Huasiqian smiled faintly. Huamin carefully observed Huasiqian's expression. Indeed, the hostility in his eyes was gone. But, Mian, can you unlock the door for me? Can you let me out? I can't stay in this dark basement forever. Let you out? Do you think I'm that stupid? But if you don't let me go, my subordinates will come after you if they can't see me. You're so smart, you shouldn't do something so stupid. When will your subordinates come? Huamin had always wanted to know how long it would take for them to come so that he could find a way to leave the island. Mian, are you trying to trick me? Huasiqian smiled. Do you think I would tell you such a secret? That's good. You can continue to stay here. After speaking, Huamin turned around and left. In an instant, Huasiqian's eyes turned sinister. Oh, by the way, you seem to be very thirsty. Here, this is for you. Huamin picked up a bottle of water and threw it over. Then, she turned around and left the room. Huasiqian didn't call out to her because he knew that with Huamin's personality, she wouldn't let him go so easily. After returning to the cabin, Huamin slowly took out the medicine he had found in Huasiqian's box. That was the medicine that suppressed his second personality, and it was indeed gone. It seemed that the second personality, Jack, had appeared because the medicine was gone. Huamin carefully looked at the medicine bottle. The ingredients were clearly written on it. If an outsider saw it, they wouldn't think much of it, but Huamin was a doctor and was very sensitive to the ingredients. At night, Huamin simply cooked some porridge and calculated the time in his mind as if he was waiting for something. At South Hill Manor, after calling Lu Yen, Qin Chu walked out of the study. He bumped into Qin Ning. Big brother, are you going out? Yeah. Are the kids asleep? Little Bean is asleep. Pudding is still playing on her phone, Qin Ning said. You can stay at home for a few days. Uncle is here, so you can help me take care of Pudding and Little Bean. Big brother, you're going out? Qin Ning guessed that her brother was going somewhere far away. Yeah. I'm going to Australia. That far? Qin Ning was slightly surprised at the mention of Australia. Chapter 3105. When will you be back? I don't know yet. Qin Ning, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Qin Chu patted Qin Ning's head lovingly. Big brother, have you heard from my sister-in-law? Qin Chu nodded. Are you sure you want to go alone? I don't want you to face Huasiqian alone. Qin Ning thought it would be another fierce battle between her brother and Huasiqian. It's okay. Huasiqian isn't that scary. I'll ask Tang Chuan to go with you. I'll feel better if he helps you. Qin Ning picked up her cell phone and was about to call Tang Chuan. Ning Ning, to be honest, this trip will be very dangerous. I didn't even ask Su Yu, let alone Tang Chuan. But don't worry, I have helpers abroad. Really? Isn't Rick going too? Isn't his family very powerful? They don't know if he's not going. After I leave, if anyone asks, just tell them. But Qin Ning wanted to say something, but Qin Chu didn't give her a chance. It's about time. I'll go now, Ning Ning. Big brother, aren't you going to tell them? Help me tell them that when I come back, I'll definitely bring their mommy with me. Then Qin Chu hurried downstairs with a briefcase. The driver drove him to the airport. Qin Ning had mixed feelings. She knew how much her brother loved her sister-in-law. Perhaps no one in the world wanted to see her more than he did. On the top floor of a commercial building in a country in the Middle East. Sir, Mr. Nalo is here, Ian's subordinate reported carefully. My brother is here. Ian raised his finger and put it to his lips with a faint smile. Then, a tall blond man in a black shirt walked in. His aura was very similar to Ian's, but his eyes weren't as gloomy and strange. Ian, where did Huasiqian go? Kid, aren't you going to call me big brother? Ian laughed. Cut the crap. Where did you take him? What are you talking about? Why did you say that I did it? I'm looking for him too. You should know that. Cut the crap. If it weren't for you pressuring him, why would he be like this? I just can't stand it. You can't catch the professor and his daughter, so you put your attention on him. In fact, the professor's other daughter disappeared in the country many years ago, and the professor himself didn't look for her. Are you sure you want to look for the legendary professor's eldest daughter? Brother, you're wrong. Not only am I going to look for her, I think I already know who she is. You mean you found it? Nalo narrowed his eyes slightly at his brother. Yes, I think that person must be her. Then where is she now? Nalo didn't seem to believe Ian's words. Unfortunately, that woman was taken away by Huasiqian. They disappeared together. Ian wasn't stupid. On the contrary, he was very smart and cunning. Huasiqian had repeatedly begged Ian to extend the deadline, but in the end, he mysteriously disappeared. He didn't believe that Huasiqian had jumped off a cliff to commit suicide. Therefore, there was only one possibility. It was very likely that Huasiqian's beloved woman was the long-lost eldest daughter of the professor he was looking for. Of course, he wouldn't know until he caught the woman and did a DNA comparison. So, where is Huasiqian now? Nalo seemed to want to know about him. Chapter 3106. How would I know? If I knew, I wouldn't be waiting here. I would have caught him long ago. Didn't you go to China? Nalo stared into Ian's eyes, obviously not believing him. You're well informed. Ian sneered. Nalo didn't speak, he just stared at him. But since you know that I went to China, you should know that Lu Yen bombed my plane. I almost didn't make it back, okay? Aren't you still alive? You're standing here alive. Nalo's face was expressionless. Okay, my brother. Your words are always so unique and your face is always so calm. Ian smiled. Seeing that Nalo didn't speak, Ian continued, if you're here to find out where that guy is, then unfortunately, I don't know where he is. I've been playing cat and mouse with Lu Yen and haven't had time to catch him. How about this? Since you're free these days, you can go and find out where he is. If you find him, you can have Huasiqian and I can have his sweetheart. What do you think? Do you think it's possible? If I find him, do you think I'll give him to you? Nalo sneered. Then we'll have to rely on our own abilities. Ian spread his hands, looking helpless and benevolent. Nalo turned to leave. Hey, my brother. I advise you to give up on that guy. I think a woman is more suitable for you. That thing is hard to deal with. Shut up. Fuck you. One more word and I'll tear your mouth off. Nalo turned his head abruptly and cursed at Ian. Surprisingly, Ian wasn't angry, he just smiled. Then, Nalo left the building with his subordinates. After Nalo left, one of Ian's subordinates approached him cautiously. Sir, should we follow Mr. Nalo? Ian glanced at his subordinate from the corner of his eyes. Mr. Nalo was so disrespectful to you. I was wondering if we should follow him and find a chance. The subordinate made a throat-slitting gesture. However, as soon as he finished, he was slapped hard by Ian, and he saw stars. That's my brother, but Lord Nalo said he was going to kill you. He was just saying it out of anger. Did you really take it seriously? He and I came from the same mother's womb. How can we kill each other? Yes. Sir is right. This lowly one deserves to die. The subordinate was terrified. He wanted to win Ian's favor, but he didn't expect to anger him. He really didn't expect that a bloodthirsty guy like Ian would actually have a so-called brotherhood. This was really surprising. His subordinate scrambled to his feet and was about to leave. Ian called out to her again. Wait a minute. Sir, do you have any other orders? Find an expert to follow them. Don't be discovered. Sir. Then find a chance to kill the people around Nalo. Just kill 2 of them. Give him a warning and tell him that I'm not that easy to bully, Ian said word by word. Sir. Ian was famous for his fickleness and his mood swings. He made the decision 1 second and changed it the next second. For example, a moment ago he had bragged about his brotherhood, but in the next second he wanted to kill the people around his brother as a warning to others. On the private plane, Xiao Fei. Lu Yen ran over with a smile and sat down beside Xiao Fei. What? Xiao Fei looked at her warily. Chapter 3107. Hee, I have a favor to ask. Lu Yen continued to smile. No. Fuck, I haven't even said what it is and you're already rejecting me. How can you do this? Lu Yen exploded. You don't have to say it. I can tell from your fawning expression that it's nothing good. Xiao Fei continued to play the game on his tablet. No way, it's just a little thing. Do you want it? Take off your clothes and lie down. I'll satisfy you after this round. Fuck you, Psycho Xiao. Are you fucking shameless? Lu Yen exploded. Xiao Fei was usually quiet and reserved, but when it came to critical moments, every word he said was a classic. Lu Yen almost fainted from anger. At the door, one of her subordinates coughed and reminded her. Why are you standing at the door? Are you a door god? I'm in a dilemma. Should I let you get down to business first, boss, or report your new information first? What business? Lu Yen wondered what was wrong with her subordinate today. Boss, are you and young Master Qiao? You guys should do your business first. I'll come back later. Is 20 minutes enough? Then, the subordinate turned around and was about to run. You fucking come back here. Lu Yen picked up a trash can and threw it at him. Luckily, the guy dodged quickly, or else his head would have exploded. He had been with Lu Yen for a long time and was used to her violence. When other mercenary commanders mentioned Lu Yen, they didn't call her second young mistress. Instead, they called her Berserk Luoli. Yes, Lu Yen was young and had a delicate baby face. However, she had a violent temper and would kill at any moment. Sometimes, she would use big moves and all kinds of explosives. No wonder even Ian would get a headache whenever he saw her. She was indeed the professor's daughter. In comparison, Huamin was much quieter. Ah, boss, it's true. It's okay, we're all adults. I understand. Understand my ass? Come back here or I'll break your legs, Lu Yen threatened. Xiao Fei was still calmly playing a parkour game on his tablet. He didn't even look up as if he was used to this kind of violent scene. Don't. Boss, I'll tell you right now. Speak. Lu Yen crossed her legs and glared at her subordinate. Our informant in Brazil just said that Pierce is now swimming in South Beach with a few young Brazilian models and a star player accompanying him. I wonder if we should make a move now? No need. Boss, are we just going to let him go like this? Of course not. It's just that I have something more important to do now. The plane has changed its route. We're going to Australia now. Then we can find someone to kill him in Brazil. We don't have to do it ourselves. No, Lu Yen said without hesitation. Boss, are you afraid that those people are unreliable and will ruin your plan and alert the enemy? No. I'm going to kill that bastard Pierce with my own hands and kick his head like a soccer ball. Lu Yen was furious at the mention of Pierce. Alright boss, we'll do as you say. Tell the spies in Brazil to pay attention to his movements. This bastard won't leave immediately after going to Brazil. After I'm done with my sister's matter, I'll go and cripple him. I'll go now. Then the guy turned and ran, not daring to waste Lu Yan's time. After her subordinate left, Lu Yan looked back. She smiled hypocritically. Young Master Qiao, can you do me a small favor? Chapter 3108. No. Xiao Fei still refused mercilessly. If you don't agree, I won't be friends with you. Captain, are we in Syria? Ask this guy to get off the plane, Lu Yan said deliberately. Hearing this, Xiao Fei put down the tablet on the table. Hey, my lady, are you kidding me? If I don't agree, you'll turn on me. Are you a female bandit? No, I'm a bandit, one level higher than a bandit. Thank you. Lu Yan smiled shamelessly. Xiao Fei, do you love me or not? Xiao Fei, if I say I love you, you'll take advantage of me. If I say I don't love you, you'll ask me to get off the plane. So, do I love you or not? Xiao Fei was dumbfounded. Are you fucking funny? I'm dying of laughter. I haven't seen you in such a good mood in a long time. It seems you're determined to rescue Sister Mian this time. Xiao Fei knew that Lu Yan must know that she could save Hua Mian if she laughed so heartlessly. That's right. I'll see my sister soon. I don't want her to go home yet. Where are we going? Xiao Fei was puzzled. To my place. My sister rarely comes out. I want to treat her to a meal of cobra meat to satisfy my craving. Xiao Fei, Sister Mian is so quiet. Don't scare her, okay? Anyway, I want to treat my sister well. Let's rescue her first. We don't know which island she's hiding on. Xiao Fei sighed slightly. As long as she's in Australia, it'll be easy. In Australia, I have connections with both the government and the mafia. I have friends in both. Lu Yan was very confident. Then she sat down beside Xiao Fei and hugged his arm coquettishly. Xiao Fei, don't you want to do me a little favor? Just one. Xiao Fei lowered his head and glanced at the view under Lu Yan's collar. If you want to seduce me, I'll think about it. Damn it. You're trying to take advantage of me again. Lu Yan immediately knocked his head. Okay, stop messing around. What do you want me to do? Tell me. Xiao Fei finally gave in to Lu Yan. So you agree? Cut the crap. Xiao Fei didn't want to waste any more time with her. It's like this. I'll go first. Don't get too excited after I finish. I know it's not a good thing from your foreshadowing. Xiao Fei glanced at Lu Yan. I'll tell you what happened. Then Lu Yan told him about the incident. No, I won't do it. Xiao Fei's face darkened. Oh, just this once, okay? Lu Yan continued to act cute. I'm not doing it. It's too embarrassing. Xiao Fei shook his head. What are you afraid of? This isn't Russia. Not many people know you. Why don't you look for someone else? Xiao Fei wondered. Because you're the most good-looking among us. Are you kidding me? I'm not as good-looking as you. Why don't you do it yourself? Xiao Fei said angrily. But that old guy doesn't like women. He's always lusted after men, so you're willing to give your man away? Just as bait. I'm not really giving him away, Lu Yan said. Are you really willing to do that? Xiao Fei looked angry. I can't catch the wolf without risking the child. Lu Yan looked innocent. Chapter 3109. Aren't you afraid that the baby will die before you can trap the wolf? Pooh. Don't say such ominous things. You won't. I have faith in you, Psycho Qiao. You're quite handsome. Xiao Fei, come on, Psycho Qiao. Just this once? Lu Yan kept flirting with him. Lu Yan's subordinate stood outside the cabin door. What's going on inside? Our boss is flirting with young Master Qiao? Someone asked. Does the boss still want to eat wontons? Xiao Fei won't give her a bag? Of course not. I heard it for a while and it seems like the boss wants young Master Qiao to seduce an old guy. So scary? Yeah. It must be related to the boss's sister. This old psycho is a big shot in Australia and is in charge of investigating all the islands. I see. Poor young Master Qiao. The boss is willing to let him go? I think the boss is just stalling for time. She doesn't really want young Master Qiao to seduce the old guy. Okay. Small shrimps like us don't understand the world of the masters. South Hill Manor, Qin Chu took the last flight out of Sea City and transferred to Australia to save Huamin. He had no time to waste. Late at night, Qin Ning felt hot and couldn't sleep. She went downstairs for a cup of coffee and chatted with Tang Chuan on WeChat. Baby Ning, why aren't you asleep? I can't sleep. Hee, are you thinking of this young master? You're shameless again. But I miss you so much. When will you move back? Did I promise you I would move back? You can't do this to me. I've felt the warmth of the world while you lived here. Don't be ridiculous. I'm not the virtuous type. I can't mop the floor, wash the clothes, or cook. The most I can do is make you instant noodles. Qin Ning chuckled. Even if it's just instant noodles, it's still delicious. You're such a smooth talker. To be honest, come back quickly. Don't move away. We can live together. Are you trying to take advantage of me again? Of course I'm taking advantage of you. I'm not Lucia. Besides, normal men would have some improper thoughts when they see the woman they love. If you continue to torture me like this, I'll suffocate to death. Then I'll suffocate to death. If I suffocate to death, you'll become a widow. Don't talk nonsense. As soon as Qin Ning replied, she heard footsteps coming down the stairs. She quickly put down her phone and looked up. It was Pudding. Pudding, what time is it? Why aren't you sleeping? Qin Ning was surprised. Auntie, where's my daddy? Your daddy? Qin Ning didn't have the heart to say it. Her brother had just been discharged from the hospital, but he had left in the middle of the night. Would the child feel very disappointed and insecure? I just went to his room and found that there was no one. The room was very clean. Even his phone and razor were gone. Where did my daddy go? Did you go somewhere far away? Pudding calmly asked a lot of questions. Qin Ning had to admit that the child was very attentive. She noticed all these details. Yeah. Pudding, come here. Auntie wants to talk to you. Qin Ning waved her hand and called Pudding over. Pudding was wearing a white cotton nightgown. Her long hair hung down. Although she was young, she was already stunningly beautiful. Your daddy did go somewhere far away. He told you not to worry. When he comes back, he'll take your mommy with him. I knew daddy went to save mommy. Why aren't you sleeping? What time is it? I asked handsome Su to video chat. You asked Su Yu to video chat? What time is it? I have something to talk to him about, Pudding said seriously. Just then, Pudding's phone rang. It was a video chat invitation from Su Yu. Chapter 31:10. Auntie, I'm going to take this call. Pudding walked upstairs with her phone in her hand. Kid, you're being so mysterious behind my back. Qin Ning chuckled and continued texting Tang Chuan. Pudding walked to the second-floor hallway and sat on the balcony, looking out at the night sky. South Hill Manor was designed by Qin Chu with great care. Although it was a castle-like house, it wasn't scary at all. Instead, it looked like a fairy tale. Every night, the colorful lights outside the window lit up, and there was a musical fountain. It made people feel very comfortable. Handsome Su. Pudding picked up the video call and leaned her petite body against the pillar behind her. Wow, why is it so dark over there? Su Yu asked. Because I'm on the balcony. It's a little dark here. Why don't you go back to your room? It's very windy at night, Su Yu asked with concern. My sister fell asleep. I was going to go upstairs, but I saw Auntie texting Uncle Tang. How okay? Do you want to put on some clothes? No, I'm not cold. Kid, why did you video call me so late at night? Handsome Su, are you at home now? Yeah. Don't you see the study behind me? Su Yu zoomed in on the study, afraid that Pudding wouldn't believe him. Are you alone at home? Of course. Don't you know what kind of person your Uncle Su is? Su Yu laughed. He thought that even Tang Chuan often made fun of him for being single. His friends were all couples. Only Su Yu was the kindest third wheel wherever he went. It's okay. I was just asking. After all, I don't want anyone to know what I'm about to say. What's the matter? Why are you being so secretive? Su Yu thought that whatever Pudding was thinking about, it must be something big. Pudding wasn't as greedy as Little Bean. She was more like an adult and knew how to plan for her future. Did anyone take over Huasiqian's company? Pudding asked. That's good. Pudding nodded happily. You want it? Yes. Su Yu was a little surprised. Pudding, why do you want that crappy company? It's just an empty shell. Didn't you sell all the shares I asked you to? Yes, I have a lot of cash now. So, that's why I want to set up a company to play with, Pudding said seriously. Girl, you're still young. Why do you have to worry about the company? You're not short of money. Your family can't spend all of your daddy's company even if you spend 10 lifetimes, okay? Su Yu thought that Pudding was looking for trouble. That's different. Daddy's company is daddy's, and I want my own. I don't want to do much, I just want to be a venture capitalist and speculate in the stock market. Even though Huasiqian's company went bankrupt, its foundation is still there. I want to take it over and operate it directly. Also, it's the Hua family's business and my mommy's surname is Hua, so it shouldn't fall into the hands of an outsider. Hua Zhenghai betrayed my grandma, so it's reasonable that I want to take over. Seeing that Su Yu didn't support her, Pudding analyzed the pros and cons. Su Yu was speechless. Pudding, even if the Hua Corporation is an empty shell company, it still needs a lot of money. Do you have that much money? Su Yu asked. Chapter 31:11. No, Pudding said innocently. So I'm going to borrow it from you. Su Yu, handsome Su, you won't refuse to lend it to me, right? Pudding blinked her big, adorable eyes. No. I'll definitely lend it to you. Okay, so I need you to give me the preliminary data. I'll ask the company to make a detailed report for you. But Su Yu hesitated. But what? Although the whole corporation is a mess, there are still many profiteers eyeing it. I believe in handsome Su's ability. It won't be hard for you to help me take over the whole corporation. Pudding was very confident. That's true. But as for the legal name of the company, who do you plan to use? After all, you're too young to use your daddy's or mommy's names. It'll be too eye-catching and will be on the news. I know. I've thought about it. I'll use my grandma's name. Su Yu, not many people are familiar with my grandma's name. Besides, Hua Zhenghai owed my grandma back then. Okay? You win. Su Yu was surprised that a child could be so thoughtful. In that case, it'll be easy. I'll give you the data tomorrow and contact the company to help you take over the company as soon as possible. Okay. Pudding nodded. Then go to sleep, it's already so late. Be careful of your panda eyes. Su Yu felt a little sleepy, but the little one sitting across from him seemed to be very energetic. Handsome Su. Yeah. My daddy went to Australia overnight. She went to Australia? Su Yu was surprised. Yeah. I think he found out where my mommy is. Damn. Why didn't anyone tell me about this? Su Yu was surprised. You know how my daddy does things. He didn't tell anyone. He only told my auntie a few words. I only found out about it later. Is it too late if I go now? Su Yu was anxious. You don't have to go. Handsome Su, just stay at home and guard the back. My daddy is afraid that someone will attack us. How could that be? Who would dare? I'm going to skin him alive. I just want to say that you don't have to worry, Handsome Su. I believe that my mommy will come back safe and sound soon. Of course. Who's your mommy? She's the mighty and domineering Dr. Hua. Su Yu smiled gently. That's right. Every time he mentioned Huamin, even if it was just her name, Su Yu would feel as if spring had come and flowers had bloomed. My daddy's trip to Australia must have been planned. There will be people there to help him, so we just have to wait for mommy to come back. Su Yu nodded. Good night, Handsome Su. When the data comes out tomorrow, just ask your secretary to email me the electronic version. I'll discuss the follow-up with you after I read it. Okay, our female entrepreneur? Su Yu teased her on purpose. He had known since she was little that she had a good head for business. It seemed like someone would inherit Qin Chu's billion-yuan fortune. Su Yu suddenly envied Qin Chu, who had a daughter and could do anything. He even secretly fantasized about when he would have a child of his own. It would be best if it was a daughter. Yes, he also liked girls. On the deserted island, when it was about time, Huamin went to the basement again. Little sister Mian, why do you keep going back and forth like this? Huaxiqian smiled. Don't you feel uncomfortable? Huamin tilted his head and asked. What do you mean? He frowned slightly. What do you think, Jack? Did you enjoy pretending to be Huaxiqian? Huamin smiled faintly. Chapter 31:12. Little sister Mian, what do you mean? Jack continued to pretend. You think you can fool me just because you're good at pretending? You want me to let you go? Jack, do you think I'm an idiot? Not bad. Huamin, it seems like I underestimated you. Jack sneered and slowly stood up. The chains on his body also made clanking noises. In this basement, it was unusually frightening. You think you did it perfectly? Yeah, I think I imitated him very well. I didn't expect you to see through me. Take a look at this. Huamin took out an empty medicine bottle. Jack frowned slightly. I'm a doctor. I know better than you what this medicine is for. Jack didn't speak. If Huaxiqian didn't run out of medicine, you wouldn't have taken the opportunity to come out, right? How dare you continue to pretend to be Huaxiqian in front of me? Don't you think it's funny? Fine woman, you're good. You even saw through me. What do you want? I want to leave this place, Huamin said. Easy. I told you let me go first. Then I'll call my subordinates and let us go together. Isn't that good? Don't lie to me. If I let you go, I'd be dead. Would I still be here talking to you? Jack, let's not talk nonsense. I can't let you go. Huamin already knew how dangerous Jack was and wouldn't listen to his slanderous words. In the past few days, he had cursed Huamin with all kinds of nasty words. Jack hated Huamin very much. He wasn't Huaxiqian and wouldn't show mercy to a woman. If you don't let me go, how are you going to leave this place? Isn't that a dream? Jack smiled. I want you to tell me when Huaxiqian's men will arrive. You want to use his men to leave. That's impossible. They won't let you go. They only take orders from Huaxiqian, which is me. Jack was overjoyed. You don't have to worry about that. I have my ways. Just answer my questions. Why should I answer your question? Who do you think you are? She's just a self-righteous, arrogant bitch. Jack looked at Huamin fiercely, as if he wanted to kill her. You're not going to tell me? Very good. Then don't blame me for being rude. After speaking, Huamin slowly sat down across from Jack. Then he took out a very small box from behind him. What's that? Jack had a bad feeling. What a coincidence. Although the birds don't lay eggs and the rabbits don't poop on this deserted island, there are actually many strange snakes, rats, and insects. This little centipede is so beautiful. Its whole body is blood red. If it bites you, it will be very interesting. After hearing Huamin's words, Jack's expression changed drastically. Don't worry, it won't kill you. At most, it'll make you wish you were dead. This little guy's poison is very strong. If it bites you, your body will slowly fester. But it won't let you die so quickly. When every inch of your skin rots, you'll die in pain like a mummy. Bitch, you're so vicious. Jack cursed at Huamin. Vicious? No. Compared to you cold-blooded murderers, I'm very nice. I'm not a saint, but I only deal with bad people. You and Huaxiqian, on the other hand, will do anything for your own benefit. People like you should have received retribution a long time ago. If I die, Huaxiqian will die too. Jack reminded Huamin. Do you think I'll go easy on him? Huamin sneered. Chapter 31:13. Huamin, don't you dare. Jack jumped up in anger as he pointed at Huamin's nose and yelled at him. Why wouldn't I dare? There's only the two of us here, and we don't even know where we are right now. Even if you die here, no one will find out. If Huasiqian's subordinates find out, they'll kill you too. I won't let them find out. Jack. Huamin slowly opened the box and looked at the little thing inside with a smile on his face. Little baby, don't be afraid. Take good care of that man. Don't let him be bored in the basement alone. Huamin, you're too fucking evil. To think that Huasiqian treated you so well. Well, you tricked me into this place where birds don't lay eggs and rabbits don't shit? You made it so that I can't see my husband and child. If you think that's good, then I'd rather he didn't treat me so well. How can you be so heartless? Do you think that if it weren't for Huasiqian, the child in your stomach would still be alive? Don't you think it's strange that the child in your stomach would still be alive after jumping off such a high cliff? Jack yelled at Huamin. Huamin didn't say anything. This was indeed strange. When she jumped off the cliff, her center of gravity was severely imbalanced. The impact was so high, and the fetus was so fragile. Yet, the fetus was still alive. Huamin didn't think it made sense, however. Huasiqian didn't tell her anything afterward, so she thought that perhaps the child was really lucky. Now that she heard Jack's tone, it seemed like there was something fishy that she didn't know about. That's because the wedding dress that was tailor-made for you had a cushioning layer inside. Concussion pressure? Huasiqian already knew that you were pregnant, but he still wanted to protect your child. Huamin, are you really that heartless? He treated you like this, how can you bear to treat him like this? Jack seemed to know that Huamin was soft-hearted, so he wanted to use Huasiqian's kindness to move Huamin. To be honest, he treated me well. But he's him, you're you. Jack, don't forget, you're not the same person. But we're using the same body. If you use the venomous centipede on me, he'll also suffer. Then don't blame me. There's no reason in this world. Just think of it as the law of the jungle. The strong prey on the weak. Anyway, if you don't die, I won't have a good life either. I wanted to let you live, but you didn't want to leave. Don't blame me. Let me live. Jack was puzzled. Thinking back carefully, when did Huamin say that he would let him live? Seeing that he was wavering, Huamin continued. I told you, if you answer my questions properly, I'll still feed you well and ensure that you don't die. Jack, but it's fine if you don't want to tell me. Baby, go there and have a good meal. With that, Huamin placed the small box in front of Jack and was about to open it. Jack's expression changed drastically. No, I'll tell you. I'll tell you whatever you want to ask. At the last moment, Jack chickened out. This was within Huamin's expectations. Hearing this, Huamin carefully put away the box. Tell me, when will Huasiqian's men arrive? Within 24 hours, Jack said. What's the leader's name? Riley. I want to know his details. Riley is a white man with a high IQ. Huasiqian met him in Germany. Over the years, Huasiqian gave him a lot of money and weapons overseas. He has his own group of people in Germany. Someone like him specializes in transporting supplies. Huamin didn't believe it. He felt that Huasiqian was using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. Chapter 31:14. Of course not. Riley is here to deliver the medicine to Huasiqian. I see. That's why you want me to let you go before they come to the island. Huamin finally understood why Jack was so irritable. Okay, I've said everything I need to say. Very good. Thank you. Huamin stood up with a smile. I saw how much Huasiqian likes you, and how Qin Chu and Su Yu are willing to risk their lives for you. I thought you were a kind woman, but it turns out that you're just this kind of person. You're vicious and disgusting when you're not around. No, you're wrong. I've never been kind. I'm only kind to the people I love. My husband knows what kind of person I am. You don't have to feel sorry for me. Then, Huamin took the small box and left the basement. When she walked out, she slowly opened the small box and smiled at the fun-looking cricket inside. Little guy, thank you. Thank you for your help just now. Then, Huamin let the little cricket go. Did it really think there was a poisonous centipede in the box? No, it was just a psychological tactic to scare Jack. In fact, Jack was really intimidated. He was scared and terrified. So, he told Huamin everything she wanted to know. This was the result that Huamin wanted the most. Suddenly, she felt that the day of leaving the island was just around the corner. Huamin hummed happily and walked toward the cabin. Within 24 hours, Huasiqian's subordinates would come to the island, then everything would change. She didn't want to waste her life on this isolated island. Plus, she was pregnant with the fruit of her and Qinchu's love. It was their second baby. She wondered how Pudding and Little Bean would feel when they saw the baby. His mother, Fushin Shaoi Lingling, and I Yang, Jarek, Sisi, wow. Suddenly thinking of so many friends, Huamin felt warm in his heart. He no longer felt like he was in utter despair. This time, no matter what, he had to leave the island successfully. A glass bottle appeared in Huamin's hand out of nowhere. It was half filled with a transparent liquid. Everything is destined. This time, no one can stop me from going home, no one. Huamin said in a low voice. In China, the Shin Group, President Shin, Madam? Oh no, Miss Wei is here. Let her in. After listening to the secretary's report, Shin Mingxi put down his work. Looking at Wei Ying, who was about to walk in, he felt a little nervous and excited. He had never felt this way before. Brother Mingxi. Coming. Shin Mingxi stood up. En, are you busy today? It's all right. With that, Shin Mingxi walked toward Wei Ying. Wei Ying was dressed casually today. She was wearing a pair of cropped jeans and a long, loose white shirt from a luxury brand. The casual outfit made Wei Ying look like a college student. Sit down, Shin Mingxi said politely. At this moment, the female secretary knocked on the door and brought in 2 cups of coffee. It's too hot. I'd rather have a cold one. Can I have ice? Wei Ying smiled. Sure, Miss Wei. Please wait a moment. Thank you. Wei Ying nodded gently at the female secretary. Shen Mingxi had never seen Wei Ying like this before. He didn't know why Wei Ying was so irritable before, but now she seemed to have changed. Big brother Mingxi, I've made progress on the thing you asked me to do. Here are the files. Take a look. With that, Wei Ying took out a stack of files from her handbag and placed them on the table. Chapter 31:15. Okay, let me take a look. Shen Mingxi sat down casually beside Wei Ying. He didn't try to keep his distance, so he was very close to her. Wei Ying smelled the familiar perfume on him. It was her favorite. It was also Shen Mingxi's favorite perfume. But later, Hui Yanyan forced Shen Mingxi to change his perfume. It was a luxurious brand with a strong fragrance, but now it seemed that he changed it back. Thinking of this, Wei Ying's mood improved for no reason. She was going to talk about this at Qin Chu's family dinner last time. But she didn't expect her brother to be so excited that day. In the end, Wei Ying left first, and Shen Mingxi left too. As a matter of fact, the two of them made an appointment to meet again in order to avoid unnecessary trouble. Big brother Mingxi, I think these schools are good. My friend's niece and my best friend's nephew go to 2 of them. They're really good. You can check them out. Shen Mingxi nodded. But the child is so young. Are you sure you want to send her abroad? Yes. Wei Ying didn't know what to say. Wei Ying didn't dare to say much about Shen Mingxi's plan to send Tian abroad. If she did, she would be suspected of having ulterior motives. After all, there were rumors that she and Shen Mingxi were getting back together. At this time, she was so eager to send the child abroad because she didn't want this burden as a stepmother. But that wasn't the truth. It was Shen Mingxi's idea to send Tian abroad. But Shen Mingxi had been busy with the Shen Corporation and didn't have the time to check out the schools abroad. So one day he posted on his WeChat friend circle, looking for a few reliable Chinese elementary schools in Singapore. Wei Ying happened to be awake at that time and replied to him with a few words. Wei Ying happened to have friends or relatives there, so she knew more about it. Later, Shen Mingxi sent Wei Ying a private message and asked her to take care of this matter. He didn't expect Wei Ying to be so efficient and take care of it like it was a big deal. She even did a lot of comparisons and provided a lot of detailed data. Tian relies on you so much. Won't she be upset if you give her away like this? Wei Ying asked worriedly. I sent her abroad for her own good. It's obvious that it's no longer suitable for her to stay in China. There will always be gossip in school. If she grows up like this, her mentality will also be distorted. After all, what her mother did was disgraceful. As long as someone mentions it, she will feel uncomfortable. Once she leaves the country and changes her name, she won't have such troubles. You're doing this for her, but does she know? Wei Ying asked in a low voice. When she grows up, she will understand my good intentions. Big brother Mingxiu, you're so good to that kid. Wei Ying licked her lips. She had mixed feelings when she said that. Seeing Xin Mingxi treat Hui Yanyan's daughter so well, Wei Ying was slightly upset. It wasn't an exaggeration to say that she was slightly jealous. Even if you have a puppy after a long time, you'll have deep feelings for it, let alone a human. The grudges between adults are their own business. After all, the child is innocent. Ever since Tian was born, she hasn't had many good days. Her biological father is like that, and her mother is like that. This child has a hard life. If I don't take care of her, her life will be ruined. Big brother Mingxi, I know what you mean. I understand you. You're a good person. Wei Ying looked at Xin Mingxi's profile and said earnestly. No, I'm not a good person. If I were, I wouldn't have hurt you so deeply. Wei Ying froze when she heard his words. This seemed to be the first time that Xin Mingxi had brought up their past again. Chapter 31:16. Big brother Mingxi, that's all I can do for you. As for which school you want to choose for the kid, you can decide for yourself. I have other things to do, so I have to go. Xin Mingxi nodded and walked Wei Ying out. Thank you for helping me with the school. I'll treat you to dinner when I'm done. You're welcome. It's nothing. Wei Ying wasn't used to Xin Mingxi's sudden gentleness. Ever since she was a child, Wei Ying had always seen Xin Mingxi's cold face. Feeling guilty, she took the opportunity to find an excuse to leave the Xin Corporation. On the deserted island, Huamin calculated the time. When it was almost time, she couldn't fall asleep anymore. She got up and put on her clothes. She wandered around the beach, where boats could only approach. She knew Huasiqian's men would always dock here. At this time, the sky was just beginning to brighten, the sun slowly rose from the horizon, and the first rays of morning light shone on the sea. Huamin was mesmerized by the oil-painting scenery. Perhaps because she knew she was about to leave the island, she was in a good mood. Huamin even hummed a song. Gently awaken the sleeping soul, slowly open your eyes. See if the busy world is still spinning lonely. The spring breeze is not romantic, blowing the young man's heart, drying the tears on his face with the wind. This was an old song, but it was also one of Huamin's favorite songs when she was in school. Every time she listened to this song, her heart would calm down. Most importantly, it was full of positive energy. When they were in high school, Qin Chu knew she liked it, so he went out of his way to buy her an authentic collector's album. As long as she was alive, there was hope in life, right? Not knowing how much time had passed in the distance, they saw a white speedboat on the sea level heading towards them. Huamin couldn't suppress the excitement in her heart and stood up with a whoosh. She had already rehearsed how to deal with these people thousands of times in her mind. Sure enough, when the boat approached and docked at the shoal, a dozen tall men walked down in an instant. At the front of the group was a burly Caucasian man with brown hair. He was wearing a white Armani shirt and a pair of black sunglasses. There were more than a dozen men behind him, all of whom were foreigners. Huamin carefully walked over. Before he could get close, the group of people pointed their pistols at him from afar. "Who are you? Stop right there." Her fluent English made Huamin stop 5 meters away. "Are you Riley?" Huamin looked at the leading man and gave him a friendly smile. "Why are you here?" Obviously, he knew Huamin's identity. "It seems that my guess was right." Huamin did not answer his question directly. Instead, he muttered to himself, "Where's the boss?" Riley glanced around and didn't see Huasiqian, so he raised his guard. "Are you asking about Huasiqian?" Speaking of which, things are a bit complicated. Huamin also spoke to him in fluent English. Riley's expression changed slightly. He grabbed the pistol from his subordinate and strode up to Huamin. A black pistol was pressed against Huamin's head. "Tell me, Where is my boss? What did you do to him? Riley's eyes were extremely fierce. It seemed that he didn't have a good impression of Huamin. Don't worry, he's still alive. It's just that, there's a little problem. Huamin was still calm and answered without a change in her expression. Chapter 31:17. What is it? Riley asked. It's hard to explain in a short time. Let's walk and talk. Riley stared at Huamin, trying to figure out what trick she was playing. You'd better put down the gun. I don't like people pointing at my head. You know who I am. Since you know, you should know that I'm not your boss prisoner. He treats me much better than you do, Huamin said confidently. Hearing this, Riley slowly put down the gun. Boss, this woman is easy to play tricks. We have to be careful, a black man behind him reminded him. Don't worry. I'm just a woman. You have so many men with guns. Are you afraid of me? Huamin smiled. Don't play tricks. Otherwise, even if my boss likes you, I'll kill you. Riley coldly glanced at Huamin's face. Let's go. I'll take you to a place. On the way, I'll tell you what happened. With that, Huamin walked in the front, followed by Riley and his men. They walked toward the basement. Are you here to give him the medicine? Huamin asked Riley in a low voice. Riley obviously heard Huamin's words. His body shook. Don't look like that. I know his condition better than you. I saw it with my own eyes, Huamin said. What's wrong with my boss? He's not your boss now. He's a second personality. Then, Huamin told Riley what had happened. Riley's face darkened. I know you don't fully believe me, so I'll let you see it with your own eyes. Riley looked at Huamin in confusion. Only you can go into the basement. Don't worry, I can't hurt you. You can take your pistol down there. Because it's not big, I'm afraid that any movement will cause Jack to play tricks. So, follow me down and do as I say. Then you'll know the truth. Boss, I'll go down. I'll replace you. A white man behind him seemed to care a lot about Riley. No need. I won't be scared by a woman. You guys wait here. I'll go down. Riley didn't seem to take Huamin seriously because he knew that Huamin didn't have any weapons or skills. She was just a weak woman. Huamin held the flashlight and pushed the door open again. Jack immediately stood up. Damned woman, what are you trying to do? Yes, Huamin had come in and out again, and he had completely lost his patience. Good morning, Jack. Did you sleep well last night? Huamin chuckled. Don't fucking play this game with me, bitch. Let me go. Are you regretting that you didn't strangle me to death? Huamin asked with a smile. Yes, if I knew that you were so difficult to deal with, I would have killed you back then. I shouldn't have been so lenient. You should really thank me. At that time, I made a mistake and allowed you to live until now. However, if I were given another chance, I would definitely tear you to pieces. Jack said fiercely. I'm so sad. If it were Wuxia, he would never treat me like this. He wouldn't have the heart. Huamin deliberately emphasized. Only that idiot would like you. I'm not him. I won't be gentle with you. I swear, if you fall into my hands again, I'll make you die a horrible death. Bitch. After saying that, Jack struggled desperately a few times. He couldn't wait to strangle Huamin. He was like a mad beast. Huamin nodded with satisfaction and then shouted to the door, See, Mr. Riley? This person is definitely not your boss. Chapter 31:18. Then, Riley opened the door and walked in slowly. He was a German and didn't understand Chinese, so Huamin told him to use a mobile app to translate. Therefore, he understood what Jack said to Huamin. Seeing Riley walk in, Jack's face changed and he immediately changed his attitude. Riley, let me go. Don't listen to that bitch. I'm your boss, Jack ordered Riley in perfect English. What a joke. You're still calling yourself Wuxia at a time like this? Then, Huamin smiled and took out an empty medicine bottle. She said to Riley, This is Wuxia's medicine. It's finished. I guess he didn't expect his illness to act up so quickly, so he didn't ask you to deliver the medicine in a hurry, which delayed his recovery and let this psychopath out. I don't need to tell you what kind of person Jack is, but you should know. You're the boss here, so you call the shots. You have a weapon in your hand and so many people with you. You can decide whether to believe him or me. Huamin's expression was very calm. She didn't want Riley to believe her words, nor did she want to explain too much. That would only backfire. Bitch. You tricked me? Jack realized that this was Huamin's plan. She made Riley wait outside the door and forced him to get angry so that she could tell whether he was Jack or Huaxiqian. Riley, don't believe her. This bitch locked me up. I'm your boss. Let me go. Jack wanted to get out even more urgently. He pinned his hope on Riley. Seeing that Riley didn't say anything and just looked at him, Jack said anxiously, I'm really your boss, Riley. Have you forgotten that we used to go to RG restaurant to eat steak and drink German beer in Germany? I also told you that I hated Ian and Nalo very much. You also told me that your sister was killed by Ian and that you wanted to take revenge on him. Have you forgotten all these? Jack tried to use Huaxiqian's memory to make Riley believe that he was the real Huaxiqian. But Riley was unmoved. Jack vaguely felt that something was wrong. Unexpectedly, Huamin turned to Riley and said with a smile, See? I told you that Jack is a psychopath with a high IQ. The fact that he shared memories with Huaxiqian is very abnormal. I was almost fooled by him before, but now that I know it, it's all right. You're really not my boss. Riley looked at Jack calmly. Huamin, you damn woman. What on earth did you say to him? Jack vented his anger on Huamin again. Because on the way here, I told Riley about your situation, including what kind of words you would say and what kind of methods you would use. Jack was slightly shocked. Huamin was such a terrifying and meticulous woman. Are you surprised? Are you surprised? Huamin smiled. But I'm going to kill you, bitch. Jack struggled against the chains with all his might. However, Riley punched him in the stomach. Then he slowly leaned against the wall and collapsed. Be quiet, you bastard. Riley looked at Jack angrily. I think you can give him the medicine you brought. After a day and a night, your real boss will be back. Hearing this, Riley walked over, pinched Jack's mouth, opened the medicine bottle in his hand, and stuffed it into his mouth. Give it to me, you piece of shit. Go away, don't touch me. Jack seemed to resist, but Riley forced the medicine down his throat. Chapter 31:19. After Riley poured the medicine into Jack's mouth, Jack collapsed on the ground, exhausted. Riley, you can't beat this woman. If you don't guard against her, Huaxiqian will deal with you when she escapes. Jack was still cursing behind Riley and Huamin as they walked out. Huamian chuckled and said, Jack seems to think highly of me. He thinks that a weak woman like me can run away from you guys with heavy weapons. Riley glanced at Huamin but didn't say anything. When they came out, the sun was up. It was very hot on the island, and the ultraviolet rays were very strong. After walking on the island for a while, they were covered in sweat. When will he wake up? Did you say he's your boss? Huamin asked. Yeah. Didn't I tell you to let him sleep for a day and a night? We have to see if he really wakes up. Riley didn't say anything. When are you leaving? Huamin asked him. I want to see my boss wake up. Don't worry. I won't do anything to your boss. After all, if he dies, I won't live either, Huamin said. Just then, Riley looked at his subordinates and said, Move everything off the boat. We'll sleep here tonight. Then, a dozen men went to the boat and moved off the new round of supplies for Huaxiqian. There was food, drink, red wine, steak, and even frozen seafood. Huamin knew Huaxiqian didn't like seafood. It seemed that these were prepared for her. Just then, one of his subordinates came over with a big box and placed it at Huamin's feet. Boss prepared this for Miss Hua, the man said in English. Don't you want to open it and see? Riley asked Huamin. Huamin slowly squatted down and opened the box. His heart instantly warmed. There were many newborn clothes, little socks, little hats, some pink, some blue. There were also baby bottles and powdered milk, and even some nutritional products for pregnant women. Boss asked me to bring these over. They're all made in Germany, And I bought the most expensive ones, Riley said. I can tell. So, don't try anything funny. Just stay here. The boss treats you well. Huamin sneered. Huh, you make it sound like I should be grateful to him instead of hating him. Of course you should be grateful to him. He gave you everything you have. Riley seemed to respect Wuxia very much and wouldn't allow Huamin to say no. Huamin took a deep breath and slowly stood up. He looked at Riley and said, "A thief stole a chicken from the chicken coop in the middle of the night. When they escaped, the chicken coop caught on fire. The chicken suddenly realized that if it hadn't been stolen, it would have been burned to death. So, it was very grateful to the thief. So, even if Wuxia, your honorable boss, kidnapped me and separated me from my husband and my children, I should be grateful to him. At least I'm still alive and well, right?" Riley didn't say anything. What kind of logic is this? Tell me, is this a bastard's logic? Huamin asked. I don't allow you to talk about my boss like that. Riley seemed a little angry. He's your boss, not mine. Then, Huamin was angry and turned to walk back to the cabin. After Huamin entered the cabin alone, he immediately stood in front of the window nervously and watched them. He didn't know if his plan would succeed. Chapter 31:20. The sun on the island was getting hotter and hotter. Huamin looked through the window and saw that Riley and his men were all sweating from the heat. "Boss, I'm thirsty. Let's get some water." Riley stopped his men. "What's wrong? Don't go to the wooden house." "Boss, you don't trust that woman?" Riley didn't speak. He just asked his men, "Did we bring anything on board this time?" "Not this time. You only told us to bring boss was wine and some daily necessities like milk powder." "Okay. I got it." "Boss, where should we drink the water?" "There's a basement over there. I saw boss was store the mineral water there. You guys go down and bring 2 boxes up." "Okay." "Wait." Riley was still worried. "Don't take the ones on the surface. Take the ones at the bottom," Riley ordered. "Yes, boss. We'll go right away." With that, several of his men went straight to the basement. In the wooden house, Huamin was finally relieved. It seemed that they had taken the bait. Riley was indeed suspicious, just like Wuxia. Luckily, she had prepared for this and had tampered with the water above and below. Sure enough, within an hour after drinking the water, the men began to have abdominal pain. Then, very small red spots appeared on their bodies. "Boss, he seemed to have been poisoned," someone said as he looked at the spots on his arms. "Go and get that woman for me," Riley said fiercely. "No need. I'll do it myself." Huamin walked out of the wooden house with a smile. "You poisoned us?" "Yeah." Huamin continued to smile. "Do you believe that I'll shoot you right now?" Riley picked up the gun and pointed it at Huamin's head again. "I do. But if I die, no one will detoxify you because you'll be poisoned within 12 hours. You may die before you can leave the island and find a doctor. I really underestimated you." Only now did Riley remember what Jack had said in the basement. Huamin could not be underestimated. "So, are you waiting for death now, or are you waiting for death after you kill me?" Huamin asked. "What do you want?" Riley knew that Huamin must have her purpose. "Oh, can I state my conditions now?" Huamin asked. Riley and the dozen subordinates behind him all covered their abdomens and looked at her with painful expressions, their eyes full of hatred. "Tell me, what do you want?" Riley stared at Huamin. "I want to leave the island." "Dream on." "Impossible." As soon as Huamin finished speaking, Riley immediately denied it. Yes, this woman had left the island. How big of a crime was that? Could he bear it? His boss would wake up soon, and when he saw Huamian running away, he would chop him into pieces, right? Then we'll all die together. Huamin seemed to be even calmer. "Don't think that I don't dare to kill you. Don't force me." Riley was also flustered. He had never seen a woman like this. He really wanted to shoot her. The poison in his body was getting stronger and stronger, and his arms were already numb. "I don't think that you don't dare to kill me. As Wuxian subordinate, You've probably killed countless people. But if you kill me, you'll lose more than you gain. I'm the only one with the antidote for the poison in you and your subordinates. I'm satisfied that you'll die with me. At least I won't die alone on this deserted island." After hearing Huamin's words, Riley and his subordinates' expressions changed drastically. Chapter 31:21. How can there be such a powerful poison on this island? Someone asked curiously. Yes, Riley didn't know either. They had been on the island for a long time. If this woman was poisonous, why didn't she attack Huaxiqian earlier? Why did she attack them when Huaxiqian was sick? Huamin smiled but didn't say anything. Speaking of this, it all started from the day when he was returning to the cabin from the basement. He found a weed on the way back. Others might not think much of it, but Huamin was a doctor. She was proficient in medicine and had read many books on Chinese herbs. She knew many valuable herbs. This soul-eating grass grew quietly and inconspicuously. However, Huamin found it and treated it like a treasure. That day, after Huamian took the herb back, she mixed it with other things to dilute the poison in the soul-eating grass and made a poison. She made a lot of it and mixed it in the mineral water that Huaxiqian kept in the basement. She was waiting for Riley and the others. That was why she was so anxious to ask Jack when they would arrive on the island. It was so hot on the island that people couldn't live without water. Plus, they would be cautious and wouldn't drink the water in Huamin's cabin. Therefore, the water in the basement was the key. Sure enough, they were easily poisoned. Huamin was confident that they could leave the island. In the face of life-threatening danger, there was no such thing as loyalty. There was no doubt that Riley would compromise. It was just a matter of time. "Boss, we don't want to die here." "Yeah, boss. Let's let this woman go first. We can catch her later." "Boss will kill us," Riley said. "But we're going to die even if boss doesn't kill us. This poison is too uncomfortable. I feel pain all over my body. Don't worry. You'll rot slowly." Huamin added fuel to the fire. "Evil woman." Riley stared at Huamin as if he was going to skin her alive. "I don't care what you say about me. At this point, I'm just waiting for you to say the word. Whether we live or die, you decide." Huamin looked at the poison people. "Boss, hurry up and agree with her. We really don't want to die." "That's right, boss. This venom will seep into the heart. We won't be able to save it. Boss, save us." The foreign men behind him were all wailing. In the face of death, no matter how strong a man was, he would become a coward. This was something that Huamin had long thought of. "We'll ask the boss when he wakes up." In the end, Riley didn't dare to disobey Huaxiqian and let Huamian go. "I'm sorry, but your poison won't last until your boss wakes up," Huamin reminded. Riley seemed to want to say something but stopped. "Don't call me cunning. If I don't do this, I won't be able to leave the island. So hurry up and decide. If you don't like me, you can kill me. Even if we let you go, you have to give us the antidote first. Otherwise, how can we take you away on the speedboat? Don't treat me like a 3-year-old kid. After you agree to my request, I'll give the antidote to your speedboat driver and let him take us away. As for the rest of you, I'll give you the antidote after I get to the shore safely." "You're really—" Riley didn't expect Huamin to react so quickly and be so considerate. "And when we get to the shore, I want my passport and US dollars. I want to leave this damn place as soon as possible," Huamin added. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.